rejoined by Francesca Page, J.D. Hayworth with you, and a pair of legal minds, not just anyone, but some very good defense attorneys here to talk about this case. First of all, you recall the name F. Lee Bailey for so many noteworthy trials in the last half century. He's the author of Excellence in Cross-Examination. He joins us, as does Janet Johnson, a practicing criminal defense attorney. To you both, we thank you very much. F. Lee checking in from Maine, and Janet from Florida. Thank you very, very much. To Counselor Bailey first, what do you make of the announcement that the FBI is taking over this investigation to this point? Our Attorney General saying this fatal shooting deserves a full review. Is this the right step?
Well, I think the tempers are such that there will be a suspicion that any internal review by the police finding that the police were not at fault will not be accepted. And so it is traditional to bring the FBI into situations of this sort, particularly when the violence includes rioting, looting, and all the things we've seen in Ferguson.
Janet, this is for you. I want to ask, are the police officers the guilty party here? We've seen all reports indicate that Brown was only 35 feet away from the police car when he was unarmed and shot.
Well, I don't want to say guilt or innocence, and I think that's what the mother so eloquently was just saying. Let's not rush to judgment. Let's not turn violent. But I have a lot of clients who are accused of doing similar things, even reaching for guns when police are trying to subdue them. And police are equipped with training and with other forms to subdue the defendant. So what they, or in this case, not even a defendant, a bystander, they have tasers, they have means that are not fatal. They actually are trained to shoot in a way that doesn't even necessarily inflict a fatal blow. So I think, could they have done something much less severe? Obviously. Are they guilty? I think that remains to be seen.
Well, Janet, this week it's Michael Brown. A couple of weeks ago it was Eric Gardner. We remember that chokehold. He was the man in New York selling untaxed cigarettes. He died after being put in this chokehold. We're showing the video right now, courtesy of the Daily Mail. A big guy, the cops got on him. He was saying he could not breathe. We're still trying to get to the bottom of that. And as always seems to be the case in these situations, there are some who suggest racial animus at work. When you see this, we can't ignore that component. This becomes a big part of the story, does it not?
It does. And, you know, JD, I think that video is so compelling. Thank goodness there was someone videotaping it. I wish in this case we had it. You know, I do think it's race and I think it's age. I think young men, particularly of color, are suspicious to the police and they get their sort of defenses up. The police are more likely, let's face it, to be aggressive with a young African-American 18-year-old than they are with me. They see that as a threat. I have clients, right now I have a case where a friend of my client was trying to film an encounter and the police shut him down and said, what are you, Steven Spielberg? And they tried to stop it. This is why we need to have police video. The cars are equipped with videotape. The police can have them on their shoulders. We need that to show what's happening. And maybe the FBI will have recommendations like that. And I hope that that does come about. But you're right, the body count is much more likely to be African-American men than it is any other segment of the population.
Lee, Janet just mentioned video, and I was thinking about it more from a historical perspective, given all the noteworthy cases in which you've been involved. The presence of video now, does this create the opportunity for a more accurate portrayal of what's going on inside the courtroom? Do you share Janet's notion that there should be video always recorded with police?
Absolutely. I think video in the courtroom is good, with the exception of the OJ case, which became a circus. But beyond that, it has given the public a chance to see what really happened. And this is also true of street videos, whether taken from cop cars or taken from surveillance cameras on the wall. They eliminate he said, she said. They tend to pin down who did what and to whom. And the public should always have the benefit of being satisfied that what their courts do is a correct result. That is frequently not the case, but it should be the case.
Janet, in this situation, is it conceivable that we're going to end up in a situation where we have dueling videos, where you'll have official video from the police and something from a bystander? And do you think judges will ever pick and choose from the different videos there, limit some of those from being introduced into evidence?
That's a great question, because I was just thinking as we were talking about this, don't the police want to have their own video? Don't they want to show, if they didn't do anything wrong, it's, ideal for them to be able to say, look, he was going for the gun, or look, this was happening. I think the more the better. It's like in an instant replay. Don't they look at it over and over and over from different angles? I mean, why should this be any different? This is life or death. This isn't the Super Bowl. This is somebody's life. Why don't we have multiple angles? And the more evidence, the better for a judge or for a jury. And I'm finding now with juries, because everything is on videotape, because cops is on television, videos are expected in courtrooms. And when juries don't have them, they're suspicious of what the police are doing.
And from the more traditional realm of video, we think back about Lee Bailey's career and the fact that he emceed a variety of television shows, but we're talking about video now that's the reality that can be introduced as evidence in a case. This is a discussion that Lee and Janet, we want to continue in the days ahead. For now, that old bugaboo, that four-letter word, time, has gotten in our way. We hope you'll come back and join us again real soon here on America's Forum. Thanks to you both.
Thanks, JD.
Thank you.
So, what about that? Video in the courtroom, is it conceivable that a judge might limit the video selections? Your take on what is going on in these cases, we'd love to have it. Why don't you tweet us your comments at Newsmax TV, hashtag America's Forum. There's also newsmaxtv.com/comment. And don't forget Facebook. Our face is back following this time out.